Hello everyone, my name is Ashfaq Ahmed and I work in the field of structural biology and bioinformatics. But today we are not going to cover the topic from structural biology, however, it is somehow related to bioinformatics. So, what we are going to do or what we are going to learn today, we will perform or we will learn data science on environmental data. If you are working in the field of environment or environmental science and you want to learn basics and some tricks or you want to start or to come into this field of data science, so this video is particularly designed for you. Today we will work on some environment data and I will teach you what kind of experiment you can perform, how effectively you can perform, how good you can make, or how better you can achieve your results from the data. So let's start. In today's video, I will teach you three different things: exploratory data analysis, feature importance, and classification task. In this video, we will also discuss some basics of these things. We will perform all these analysis on the cloud computers or a cloud computing platform to which we call it Google Colab. If you are watching my videos, so I'm sure you are fully aware of the Google Colab. But if you are new here, then possibly it may take 5 to 6 minutes for you to understand what is a Google Colab. So therefore, I will drop my a kind of smaller introduction again to the Google Colab. So let's start. And before going to start, you should know that what you will need in this field. So the most important thing you will need in this field of data science is data. And normally the data is in the Excel sheet or in particularly in the CSV format. Okay. So from where we will get that data? There are a lot of sources on the internet. You can have different data sets and there are also some specific databases which contains data sets of data from different fields. Today, I'm going to teach you about how to perform analysis on the environment data or environment related data. Therefore, I will deal with a data set from the environmental sciences. This is a website that is called Kaggle. You can see here, and in the Kaggle, you can click here the data sets. Now you can search variety of different data sets here from any field. This is not a specific website or designated website for a specific field. You can find any kind of data here. And even you can drop your data on this website. That's very easy. It's okay. Uh, Now, today we are going to deal about this data. This is a data set. It says Islamabad, Pakistan air quality data submitted a year ago. So you can see, you can click here if you want to download. So you can download here. Okay. I have this, and here you can see a brief introduction of the data and what kind of feature or columns in this data has. It has the date column, it has the temperature, humidity, NO2, SO2, and PM 2.5. I think it is called particulate matter, which are almost in the size of 2.5. Micrometer or centimeter, I think micrometer. But pardon me if I make some mistake because I'm not primarily a person of environmental sciences. So I have learned or I know some basics of this field. And here I'm not sitting here to teach you the basics of environmental science. I'm here to teach you how you can perform data science. Okay, so from here you can find any kind of data. Um, Too many environmental data are present from different locations around the globe. I choose this one. You can choose your own data. But I would suggest to choose this data in the start if you are trying to learn or if you are following me. Okay, the data set is present in my download folder. I downloaded here. It says final data. Let me open it. When I open it, it says this. It has a date column, temperature column, humidity column, NO2, SO2, PM2.5, and a year column. And the data is from the 3 years, I think 4 years, the year 2019, and you can see here different months, and then 2020, then 2021, you can see here, and it also has the data of 2022, also it has the data of 2023, and I guess no value from 2024. So in short, this data it contains some information collected by someone else about these things from Islamabad, and it contains data of different months from 2019, 20, 21, 22, and I guess 23. So it's a short kind of data. It contains almost 1400 rows and some columns. Remember, in this video, I will call these column features. Features, okay? I will not call it columns. So in data science, we call these things features. So this is your first learning for you. If you're working in the field, you will call it feature. So importantly, each and everything is a feature. And during analysis, we will select some feature as a target. Or I can say during analysis, we will select some column as a target. That depends which one you want to select. Okay. Another thing, we will perform all these analysis in the Google Colab. What is Google Colab? You can type here colab.research.google.com. If you are new to this channel, I will drop this link in the description section. Okay. Once you are here in the Google Colab, so you can see, wait, you can see this kind of thing, and you, if, what we do here, we actually connect. Here is the connect option, and you will be able to perform some analysis using the cloud GPUs, the cloud CPUs, and the cloud stuffs. And you can analyze, you can run different codes, you can analyze your data, and you can download your data, your analysis in whatever format you are expecting. And that's done. Bang. So let's start. Now, how to start? You will need a kind of prototype. A prototype, I mean something you can replicate for your analysis on your dataset. So here I will show you what prototype I give you. I will give you some prototype from my own repository. I have different repositories. So you can click here GitHub. Then you can type here ash 100. I have already here, you can type here, it is clickable, you can see. You can type ash 100, you will see this kind of thing. Now click here and select environment. This is a prototype data science project on environmental data. Click here. Okay, it contains some preliminary information about the data, about myself, and I will update it. So possibly you will see much more information later on. If you are new here, just click here, connect. Okay, it will be connected, possibly may take 30 seconds. Okay, now you can see it is connected. The same you can connect. Now, if you are not good in codes, so all the codes are already written here. What you will need just to change the names of these things if they are required to. Otherwise, you will need to just click here. So, first of all, we are going to perform exploratory data analysis. What is exploratory data analysis in data science? I told you what are the features in the data. The columns are the features in your data. Don't worry how many they are and don't worry how bigger the data is. In reality, the bigger the data, you will have chances to have better results. Okay? So, what is exploratory data analysis? The first analysis we are going to perform is actually a kind of exploring your data in a quick time and also to find the correlation or the relation or the linkages or the anti-correlation, whatever you call it, between different feature present in your data. So if your data has many features, so you will have so many correlation or anti-correlation, or you can say relationship between different features. So to explore that kind of things, we call it EDA or exploratory data analysis. Click here. For the first time, you will see this kind of thing. Click run anyway. Now, here, click here. This is a kind of your directory, your computer. Now you are connected. Click here. And the data set, bring the data set here. How you will bring your data set from your computer here? Just click here. This is the upload button. And my dataset is in the download folder and its name is final data, final data.csv. Click here and you will see after some time your data will be here. You can see here. Now click here and copy path. Change that copy path here, but try not to disturb these commas. It's not a comma, but I forgot its particular name. But do not disturb it and let's say Control V. Okay, now click this one. You can see this tick mark means successful. So now your data is successfully uploaded to the system. Let's see, display the first few rows of the data set. When you click here, you can see here, this is the date column, temperature, humidity, NO2, and so on. Let's check the basic information of the dataset. Click here. These are the basic information. Some of the features or some of the columns, this is the data type. They are in the object form, some are in the float form, and some are in the integer. But If you are new to this field, so skip it. I will teach this thing in some another video if you are interested in learning some descriptive statistic of the data like for temperature total this much count or this much values mean value is 22 among all entries for temperature. The same for humidity 55, for NO2 14. So this is the basic stuffs of your data or the basic information of your data for every feature, for every column. And you will need it if you are doing this for a project, you will need it to write some introduction of your or some preliminary statistics of your data. Okay, just to check is there any missing value or missing column, missing some block in the data. If it is, you will see here. If it is missing, if there is a missing line in humidity, you can see here one. But remember, in data science, we do not deal with the missing values or the system cannot deal. So we have to remove or we have to put something there. So luckily, we do not have a missing data. Okay, next we are going to change the date format or the date style into our expected or into an accepted way. For example, the current format is 1 AUG 1 August. So by running this, we will change if there is any error. Okay. Now we will check that whether there is any date which is kind of invalid. So it says yes in line or in the row 273. I'm unable to change the format of this date. So then I will say, okay, drop it, drop that line. I'm dropping here, but it depends on you to drop your data that specific row or to fix it. Okay. Now, our first analysis to find the correlation between these feature. So when we run it, we will have this kind of correlation heat map on the y-axis all the feature on the x-axis all the feature. This is the correlation legend. If the color is on the blue side, so you can see too much correlated. If so, too much anti-correlated, or if in the color is on this side, this kind of reddish or brownish, then too much correlated. Okay, you can also judge from the scores. One means 100% correlated or almost similar, and so, if how you will study this kind of plots, for example, you want to see the correlation between NO2 and temperature. So you see temperature and NO2 is zero point 0.4 or minus zero point 0.4. It's you can see that they are completely anti-correlated. It means generally it says that if the NO2 is on the higher side, so the temperature will be on the lower side. According to this data, I'm not telling about according to the science. I don't know about the science here, but according to this data. Okay. Now we want to figure out the distribution of these numerical features. So let's plot these numerical features. I mean, their distribution, like how much they are present. For example, in the data sets, the temperature value also contains few higher values. Here you can see, and the temperature values are also here on the lower side. So this is a kind of data distribution for all the features, and you can search what is data distribution on the internet, because if I'm going for explaining each and everything, the video will become so longer. Okay, now let's ensure the data column is right, and then it says, okay, we want to merge the date with the year column. That is fine, because if you remember, our year and date column were separated. So here we just merged, okay, and we name it a full date, and then we exclude anything which do not contain some numeric data. And now let's see, we are going to plot the time series trend. What is actually a time series? You will see now. This is a time series trend for the PM 2.5 in this, and these are the date in months and year. In August 2019, the data started from here. What was the status of humidity? What was the status of temperature in red? And how it behaves across the years in the data. So now, if if you are interested, like if you say how I will get this kind of information into my computer, please do not go for screenshot. I have included a script here, and that will print a high resolution figure for you. So this is the time series plot. Here you can click here and download. Let me show you time series. Yes, you can see it's in my download, so you can also download that data. Now, what we are now we are generating some scatter plot for temperature on the x-axis and for PM 2.5 on the y-axis here. So you can see the relationship between temperature and the PM 2.5. But if you are interested to find the plot between the temperature and the NO2, then just change it here, NO2, and you can change this title, you can change this. I'm not going to change these other things. It's okay. You can. Okay, now let's see. This is between NO2 and temperature so quickly. Now, if you want to find out the NO2 and the SO2, let's say SO2, you can see. So, that's up to you how many features and what features you are trying to analyze. Now, here is an important plot. I dropped a quote here. It will analyze the data in a kind of three feature manners. So how? Let's see. Okay, this is an interesting plot, and you can see on the x-axis is here we have temperature, on the y-axis we have PM 2.5. But what are the different colors, and what are these circular sizes, are these point sizes? So if you can see here humidity. So this is actually the plot between the temperature and the PM 2.5, but the colors and the sizes indicates the level of humidity. If the color is on the reddish side, the size will be also higher. And if it's the color is on the bluish side, so the size will be smaller for the dot. You can see here. So what it means, you can also see the legends for this humidity here. What it means now how to interpret this data. For example, I talk about this data. Okay, so you can see the color matches to this 75. It means for this point, the humidity was 75% and the temperature was almost, I would say, 16, and the PM2 level was almost 90. It's like lower than 100. So we see this way. Now, if you want to analyze this data for NO2 and SO2 in relation to humidity, so you can see like and the axis is I say NO2, on the y-axis you can see SO2, and I'm not going to change this humidity thing, but if you want to change this humidity thing here, then change this humidity here, the size humid that name here, this here, all these humidity things you have to change it. Okay, now rerun it. Let's see what kind of different plots we are having. Now you can see it's the relationship between SO2 and NO2, and we are checking it based on the humidity. Like this one, the humidity is 90% for this, but the NO2 scale is almost 25 roughly, okay, and the SO2 scale is about 40. You can say roughly 48 or 50, let's say this way. So this way you can generate different plots. The same plot, you can just change the name here and generate different plot again and again, and you can download those plots here. Okay, now again, if you are not interested in this plot, so you can also generate individual plot for 2.5, PM 2.5 and humidity, and you can again change these name here and to generate it something else like humidity versus SO2. So you can say this, you can see. So this is up to you what you want what actually you want to extract. Okay, now this we are this this figure, they actually explain the box plot to identify outlier. What outlier means? Outlier means that the data contains a temperature values, and the temperature values from 5 to almost 43, but majority of the values falls in the range of 30 to like 18 to 28. You can see like this. If you are from Pakistan, so you will know that majority the temperature falls here, but the basic problem in Islamabad is normally the humidity, which is a majority of the values are about 40 and to like 70. You can see here. So these are called outlier. You don't need to be worried how if you need this figure for your thesis. So you can see here the figure title is data outlier PNG. It's here generated. Just click here, download, and see. So it's actually all the data we are creating here are saving here, so you can download. So now if you want to find out the trend between a specific feature against the year. So for PM 2.5, the trend in 2029 was here and it came here down in 2022. Someone told me the PM 2.5 means pollutant. So it means Islamabad was very clean in 2020 compared to 2019 and 2023. If I'm right that it is pollutant, okay. So let's say you are trying to find out the nature of the SO2. So just change it here, SO2, and click here. The SO2 level was very down and it's high in the 2020. So you see the SO2 was up, the SO2 is up in the 2020, but the PM2.5 before this was down in 2020. It means that they are anti-correlating these two things. They are not dependent each other. But the rest, if you are a person in the field, so you can explain it better, not me. Okay. So now let's see what we are generating this. Okay, interesting. Okay, so now if we see this plot, what actually this plot is. So it is a very interesting plot, and let me just briefly explain it for you. The plot name is feature detail PNG. It's here, you can download it. So it will tell you about all the data and their exploratory stuff. You can see temperature, humidity, NO2, SO2, PM2.5, and on the y-axis the same thing. Now, if you want to analyze the relationship between humidity and PM2.5, it's here. If you want to analyze the relation between humidity and SO2, is here. You see, this is SO2 line and humidity line. So this one is for the relationship between SO2 and humidity. And the same, you can analyze your data this way. Okay. So this was all about the exploratory data analysis. Sorry. You can explore different things. You can explore different features in your data. Um, and it depends what kind of your data is. Now, the second thing we are going to learn is the feature importance. For the feature importance, remember you have to select some target variable or some target feature. For example, my target is PM2.5. Let's say my target is PM2.5. And let's suppose, I don't know, but let's suppose this is a pollutant. Okay. So my target is that what are the factors which supports the pollution or the increase of 2.5? What are the factors or the features which do not support the pollutant value, which is PM2.5? So actually, I told you in the start, these are features. So now PM2.5 will be our target. Others are the features. So here we will perform some correlation analysis again. And here I have excluded the date column. I don't want to check the effect of the date. Personally, I'm thinking that maybe you are not interested in the date column, or a person will not be interested in the date column. He or she will be interested in specifically some certain columns of some, maybe not in the date, but possibly they are interested in these kind of things. So I have removed the date. Okay. Now we will use here some machine learning algorithms, and for the first time, or for the first algorithm, we are using random forest regressor. What is machine learning? We actually train our 70% of the data, uh, in this case, 80% of the data, which we have to the model, and then we check the performance of the model by calculating or for predicting the test size. At the end of the day, the model will give us some error. And if the error is on the lower side, we can use that model, or we can analyze the prediction, or we can base our comment on the prediction of the model. If the error value is on the higher side, then we have to optimize your model. So what we are going to do, we are actually identifying that which feature is important. So let's say it says that for the random forest, because the data was very smaller, so therefore it took in second, 1 second. It says that I'm making RMSE, root mean square error or model absolute error. My error is 3.3 or 4.6. It's on the higher side. But let's see, um, keeping this error in view, how we can calculate the feature. So it says that the important feature, okay, I think I kept the target temperature, not PM 2.5. You can see. So the most important feature is PM 2.5, which is dependent or which is dealing with or which is relating to the temperature. So this is the most important feature for our target. Okay, or you can say the most important feature which change or which is able to change the temperature in Islamabad, that is 2 PM 2.5. But keeping in view the result generated by a random forest is prone 4.6. It's a huge number, but actually I'm here to teach you. So now, how you can perform your analysis better, or if in case your model is generating a higher error, then you are able to optimize your model. So I am also going to teach you some simple optimization strategies. Here the first we will call it grid search. So we are launching a grid search and to find the best model. And once I click here, it will take some time, therefore I'm going for a pause. Welcome back. It took almost 2 or 3 minutes, and it says that the best model I found again gives this 4.67 error. Now, a question can come in your mind that what mistakes we are making. Actually, we are not making any mistake. It's the data and these are the models. We can only try to optimize the model, but sometimes your data is too little for the model. Okay? Or sometime your features are too little for the model, or sometime uh, your target is not the good selection. So that's why you can try different things. You can try different grid searches. You can try different models and hope for the best. Okay. Now here we are going. Okay, keeping this value. And let's see which one is the still the best feature, and it's still the same. Okay, and you can see here this one is zero point 0.5. The importance is on the higher side and humidity is on the lower side. Now we are going to perform some, we call it cross validation, and let's see if it can make our things better. No. And this cross validation we perform it by the regression analysis or the linear regressor or the linear regression. And again the linear regression reproduce a higher error. I think it's even worse than the random forest. Okay, now if you are going to ask like what are the important feature based on the linear regressor, so it says NO2. But remember, the linear regressor error is higher than the random forest. That was 4. So it means that this result is not, um, you have to accept this result as compared to the linear regressor because the error is on the higher side. Now here we are trying another model that is called gradient boosting. Let's see. I also want to tell you if you are new to the channel, so I have discussed these machine learning and these things in detail in other videos for bioinformatics, but I will also discuss these things in my coming videos. So subscribe to the channel and you will learn or just read somewhere because in this video I'm just trying to familiar with you that the data science is not that so difficult that you are unable to do. You can do it. Okay, so the random boosting almost generate a similar kind of error, and it's generate almost the same feature as random forest. So of course your data will be different, your features will be different, so I'm expecting you will have a better results of the model, and then you can plot these things. So that was all about the how you will find out the important feature in your data against a certain target. Here our target was temperature. You can change your target accordingly your data. Now we are entering into the classification task. What is the classification task? So the classification task is that here I'm going to change the target as SO2. The SO2 feature or the SO2 column is my target, and I will label the SO2 column in three different categories. If the SO2 value is smaller than 15, I will call it low. If the SO2 column is or the value is higher than 15 and smaller than 40, we will call it medium. If the SO2 values are higher than 40, we will call it high. Once again, I'm not a person from the environmental sciences, so maybe you can say that, dear, the 15 is very high. Why you call it low? Remember, this is only for your understanding. I don't know if the 15 is high or maybe the 40, the higher is the better, but I call it, I assume it that the higher is not the better. Okay, so let's see here. You can see I have in my code, I have mentioned all these things, and I said that okay, so the program has labeled it, and now we prepare our data again, and the data has generated that this is the feature based on the random forest. Okay, but skip this figure. You will not understand this figure at this stage. Okay, now see what we can analyze. This is the data distribution after our labeling. So you can see the low, almost the 500 are on the lower side, almost 800 data on the medium, and the high is almost 100 data. Okay, now we perform some kind of exploratory data analysis. This is the box plot for the similar thing that okay, um, as we say that the almost 800 entries on the medium, in the medium range for SO2, but in those 800, when we compare it, those values with the temperature, then you can see that the medium range was more prevalent or more obvious when the temperature was from 14 to, let's say, 28. Okay, the same you can do for this, and that is very interesting. On in the lower temperature, particularly in the winter, the SO2 is higher. So now, if you are doing a research and if higher SO2 is harmful for health, so you can extract or you can comment why it is higher in The SO2 value is higher in Islamabad during winter as per this data. Okay, now this is the final analysis, and let's see what we will have it. It's a very explored and very informative image, so that's why it will take a bit longer. You can see here, okay, its name will be SO2 level versus other PNG. Okay, so refresh, you can see here SO2 level here. Let me download. Now let's explore the data. It's these colors represent the SO2 level, blue low level, blue low level, orange medium, and the green on the higher side. Let's say with humidity and SO2. So this is the level of this figure shows the humidity and SO2. If you are moving to the right side, so it means humidity is increasing. So if you can see, I cannot see a distinct relationship. All the things are straightforward or in equilibrium. But let me show you something here. Let's see. That's very interesting case. Temperature and SO2. So the SO2 level is higher. Oh, wait, yes, the SO2 level is higher. The higher SO2 level is when the temperature is, you can see it's up, if you consider this region, so when the temperature is up to, yeah, below 20, you can see here, or when the temperature is 20, but the SO2 level is, this is the SO2 level. The SO2 level is on in the orange, and the orange means medium. The SO2 level is in the medium range if the temperature is even above 30. And interestingly, if the temperature is below 15, it's hard to detect any SO2 level. You see very few blue lines here. Blue is low. So the lower SO2 level is almost not there with the, how to say, with this temperature. Okay, once again, you have to use your common sense with this data. For example, you are interested to generate, uh, let's say this one, temperature by SO2. Now you want to see the relationship of different SO2 levels against NO2. So here you can change it NO2, and you can change the label also, temperature NO2, NO2 versus SO2. And you can also change that picture name, uh, temperature versus NO2. You see NO2. Now play again. This one is if the NO2 level is on the higher side, the SO2 level is also on the higher side. If the NO2 level is on the low, SO2 level is on the lower side, the low. So here the NO2 level is also on the lower side. It means the SO2 and NO2 are correlating with each other in this data. So congratulations, today you have learned something new at least. Okay. What you can how you can use this notebook. We call it notebook. You can input your data, you can analyze your data, but just changing their names and those things. If you have any problem, you can comment. You can drop your comment in the comment section, and I hope this notebook will provide a good starting point to you to analyze your data, or at least you know that from where I will extract the data and how I will be able to analyze my data sets, how I can have this kind of analysis. You can add more and more analysis. These were just the preliminary analysis. I brought it for you just to introduce you, just to tell you, just to make you believe that this field is not a something alien field. You can perform your analysis, you can build up your hypothesis, you can predict your things here and then bring it to your laboratory experiments, blah blah. And if you are liking my videos, so please subscribe and thumbs up this channel. And I'm here to bring more data science stuffs in different fields with different data sets. So stay tuned, stay happy. Bye bye.